That dull hammer doesn't scare me.
It is E3 2016, and video game media and fans pack a theater to see the latest and greatest from their favorite developers. Millions attend the event, streaming live to viewers around the world. Then, it happens. Color emerges from within the black frames, and we see a boy, enthusiastically playing with his toy figurines. The innocence and childlike joy erupts from this young child, only to stop in his tracks. The kid begrudgingly gets up after hearing a deep and powerful voice, calling the kid to his attention.
Boy!
We hear the famed word, boy, as the child, irritated, makes his way to a wooden hut nearby. The child kicks a figurine in frustration as he passes through the frigid grounds and enters the structure. Going on a hunt, you say? Someone is hungry?
Your mother's knife. It belongs to you now.
Why does this voice sound so reminiscent of someone we once knew so well? And then, this happened.
I am hungry. Feed us.
God of War 2018 did a laundry list of things right, and one of them was the very thing that so many fans of the series were so intrigued by, yet alarmingly concerned about. Atreus. Wait, Kratos has a son? Oh, no. Are you telling me this is going to be another escort mission?
Are they ruining my God of War?
No, boy. You have nothing to worry about. Seeing Kratos during the debut of Sony's E3 press conference in 2016 for the titular God of War was an absolute thrill for longtime fans of the series, and the game just looked incredible. Fans were rightfully losing their minds, as Kratos had disappeared from the public eye for several years. It was great to see him back, rocking a solid, godly dad bod to boot. But there was always the thought that this small little boy was going to slow us down and present itself as too much of a departure for the franchise. Atreus is an incredibly important character in God of War's Norse saga, serving not only as a son to the Ghost of Sparta, Kratos, but also as a key figure in the game's combat. This duo was celebrated immensely in God of War 2018 by showing us a new side to Kratos that we had never seen before. A transition for Kratos, escaping the hatred and the chaos that surrounded him in his homeland of ancient Greece as he traveled north to the frigid lands of Norse mythology, seeing him with a new family of his own and taking care of his very own son. The story also shone a light on Atreus representing a kid that was coming to terms with his status as a god, while navigating the trials of growing up through a hostile landscape as he discovers and learns more about the world around him and even within himself. As to how this duo will be remembered in God of War Ragnarok, well, we'll just have to see where the story takes this little family, but it's sure to be incredibly epic and will test Kratos and Atreus' relationship in ways we haven't seen before. For as great a duo as Kratos and Atreus are, companions or teammates haven't always been as celebrated in games before, though.
Name's Leon. Came here looking for this girl.
There are many instances where history has given us, often incredibly good games that fans say were held back by having the game feel more like a rescue mission than having a companion that actually did meaningful things to assist the player. Resident Evil 4 immediately comes to mind, in which Leon, the main character, had to irritatingly keep track of not only his own health, but also the safety of a defenseless girl, Ashley, as they tried to escape from the monstrosities happening all around them. As incredible a game as RE4 is, this was a massive headache for many players of the game, and whether or not the upcoming remake addresses this is, of course, up to the developers, and was a central mechanic to that original title. We saw something similar happen with Resident Evil 5, in which your companion player, when playing solo, would often be more of a nuisance than anything. Now, getting back to God of War now, Sony Santa Monica instead did something very different with Atreus being a tag-along companion that integrated him into the gameplay seamlessly, without ever forcing the player to give up control of Kratos. This effectively maintained the style of the older God of War games, where Kratos was the only one in direct control of combat, but brought in the aid and assistance of his son Atreus when the player wanted to, and with just the single press of a button. Atreus is formidable in combat and can easily hold his own in any confrontation, making the game feel less like an escort mission as players don't have to panic when enemies surround him. The player is Kratos through and through, able to slice through enemies with ease with his Leviathan axe, pound skulls in with his bare-handed fisticuffs, and set enemies ablaze while dicing them up with his tried and true Blades of Chaos, while not even having to worry about the death of your fragile-looking companion, who seemingly knows everything about the whereabouts of the enemies around you. Hitting square by firing arrows at whichever direction your screen is pointed at brings down enemies to their knees, allowing Kratos to go in for the satisfying kill. Heck, you can even further improve Atreus and his archery capabilities like you can Kratos as you progress through the game. Atreus is a champ, plain and simple, and goes down in gaming as one of the most useful sidekicks to ever grace the medium. From start to finish, Kratos and Atreus go through some pretty harrowing stuff, but emerge on top, and on top indeed. The tallest peak of all of Jotunheim to spread the ashes of Atreus' deceased mother, Kratos' wife, Faye. God of War 2018 was indeed the tale of father and son, as they had a journey of unparalleled bonding, hardship, and trials that seemingly brought them closer together than we saw dozens of hours prior.
War is coming! My story doesn't end hiding in these woods. I should be out there! Finding out who I am, who Loki is.
I will not allow you to pick a fight with gods.
3 years have passed. 3 long years, and Fimbulwinter has hit Midgard with a ferocity the lands have yet ever seen. Kratos and Atreus are 3 years older, with Atreus growing larger and larger with each passing year. Thor readies his hammer while standing outside Kratos and Atreus' hut in the woods. Atreus, seemingly listening to the spirits in the forest around him as they warn the pair of a fate that could befall them during the events of Ragnarok. Ragnarok ensues as Atreus readies and fires his arrow towards the sun that propels Skoll and Hati to usher in a new era. Yeah, a lot is about to happen to our favorite father and son duo in video games, and the importance of Atreus in God of War Ragnarok seems to be monumental. With the information from the end of the previous game that Atreus is indeed Loki, and with 3 years of growing up and honing his powers since the previous game, Kratos' relationship with Atreus is absolutely going to evolve and take us to exciting new directions we have never seen the characters taken before. Atreus, once the small little boy with the bow and arrow seen bossed around by Kratos, may likely not be seen as that small little boy he once was anymore. A bit older, a bit bigger, a bit wiser, and more capable. Atreus is the wild card of God of War Ragnarok that holds with him the secrets that could take the game in exciting new directions. What new gameplay features will we see with Atreus this time around? We have seen numerous new combat features with Kratos being introduced in God of War Ragnarok with the various trailers and Game Informer footage, but what do we have in store for us in regards to Atreus? We are clearly not seeing the complete picture here. Barely a fraction of the game has been shown so far with the various trailers we've seen, but I would expect Atreus to play a bit larger of a role this time around in God of War Ragnarok than we saw from him in the previous game. God of War 2018 perfected the companion AI that made players relieved that they could play the game as the famed Ghost of Sparta, while also weaving in the assistance of his son seamlessly and organically that never felt jarring or interrupted the flow of the combat. We have a lot more of Atreus we are about to see in the upcoming God of War Ragnarok, and I have a lot more to say about Atreus' role in Kratos' final adventures in the Norse realms. But I reserve that discussion for a future video after this one.
I just want answers.
And if those answers lead to war with Asgard,
Maybe that's what Mother wanted.
we do not know what Mother wanted.
I hope you enjoyed my little video essay on how Kratos and Atreus are the peanut butter and jelly to companions in video games, and why this pair may have only scratched the surface of what we may see in the upcoming God of War Ragnarok. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you love the content, and hit that bell notification to never miss another video, as I will be discussing God of War Ragnarok before and after the game releases, along with a plethora of other awesome games to come out during the holiday season and well into early next year. If you haven't already done so, make sure you enter the giveaway I am doing, linked in the description, where I am giving away 2 copies of God of War Ragnarok before the game releases. Also, view this video on screen here if you are itching for more news regarding the latest and greatest information about God of War Ragnarok. Thanks again for all the awesome support, good people, and I look forward to seeing you all real soon. Peace.